Hey there, Quincy. It's Dr. Scott. I got some feedback for you on your IRB application. I haven't heard back from you yet about when you might want to meet. Tomorrow's pretty much booked up, so what I have left is Thursday. Um, I'm not sure if you're on campus. Maybe we can talk over the phone or something like that, but we kind of need to get IRB in this week. So if you're working on the proposal, I think that's great, but I'd say if there's a priority right now, it's the IRB application, and then we can maybe shift your your proposal, make it due over break. All right. So, and there's issues to work on here. I think you got a pretty solid draft, but there's a few things that you'll need to get done. I just wanted to say though at the beginning how kind of cool it's been to watch your question evolve. It started out in a place that I really wasn't sure where you were going. I was a little bit concerned, but now it is really kind of focused. I have these notes over here. It pops up here on your screen because I got the cursor over the note, over the comment. And I'll send this document to you so that you know what I was looking at when I was commenting on your essay. But the only word that I would change here is connection, because connection, that gets us into quantitative stuff where you're doing correlations and you're quantifying the relationship between two phenomena or between two terms. You definitely want to look at a relationship, but connection implies that if somebody is more religious or they have a deeper faith, then something's going on with how they perceive these historical events. So I think really the word here is relationship. I'm attempting to find a relationship between the religious ideology a student has accepted or been raised in and their perception of major historical events due to that, or in their perception of major historical events. I think the sentence kind of ends right there. So maybe you can kind of clarify what that is. I just want to say it's been cool to watch this evolve, and this is a project I'm kind of just fascinated in, and I kind of want to know more. Affect is a verb. You're talking about effect right there. That's not a big deal. You mentioned a survey, and that's fine. We can do it. I'm all for that, and I can help you construct that. Thing is if you want to get this off to IRB, you need the survey. You need to get that approved by IRB as well. So, and they actually stamp it. So when you make copies to distribute it, it should have the IRB approval stamp on it. If you want to do that, we can talk about that over the next couple of days and get that survey rolling. If not, I think you might still be able to do your project, but it's something that we'll definitely have to kind of think about. You'll also need a couple other things, and this is important. You'll need your informed consent form, and you'll need interview protocols. You'll need to submit those to IRB as well. So those things need to get ready to go. We also need to talk about the data that you're collecting, how you're collecting it, where you're going to store it. You mentioned interviewing over email, which I think is fine. It's going to be a little bit harder to kind of collect, to do those probing questions like Cresswell talks about and that kind of stuff. It might be harder to get people to kind of open up and write more unless they're just, this is something they really kind of want to talk about. And I'm fine if you want to stick with the email thing. Thing is we have to kind of think about where you're going to keep that, keep those completed emails. Are they going to stay on the SSU server? Are they going to be printed out and then deleted? We kind of need to specify what's going to happen with those. But that needs to be specified whether or not you're doing audio files or, what have you. You'd have to kind of explain that in more detail anyhow. I'd say here we want to refer to Cresswell and his information about coding. That's the dude that gave you the information about how to do this kind of work. We need to refer to him. And then I also think here at the end, you need a more specific date. What's the time frame between collecting data? Some folks are doing from March to May. I forget what the last date of the classes are. 11th or something like that. That's the last week of the last day of whatever the last day of the semester is, like including finals week. It just allows you to kind of go back to somebody, ask them a follow-up question, and it's still all legal with IRB. All right. So that's my feedback at this point. We are missing documents, so we need consent form and we need interview protocols, and we also need a survey if we're going that route. And it'd be great if we could chat in the next day or two to kind of get make sure that you don't have any questions about revising this, but also making sure that we're kind of getting everything wrapped up and ready to send out to IRB. All right, Quincy, that's it for now. I'll talk to you soon.